I'm Sunil. I welcome you back to my YouTube channel Tech Basics. So today we'll try to understand the data types that are available to us in Python. In the last video, we just had a glance about these data types. So we'll try to understand them in detail today. So the various data types that we have in Python, they are numeric data type, you have text data type, sequence data type, mapping data type, set, Boolean, and then binary data type. So when it comes to numeric data type, depending on what type of numbers we do provide, your numeric data type is further classified as integer data type, float data type, and complex data type. So when you say integer data type, it means wherein you have numbers without fractions, floating point, you have numbers with fractions, and so on. We'll try to understand this integer, float, complex with an example and by writing some code. Then we have text data type, in which you have string data type, wherein we are going to work with a group of characters over here. Coming to sequence, we have a list, tuple, and then range. Coming to mapping, we have dictionary. Coming to set, we have set and frozen set. We have Boolean, in which you have bool, and then coming to binary, you got memory view, byte, and byte array data type. So let's get into detail about this data type. So coming to integer data type, when you say integer data type, meaning of that is you are going to provide here a number without any fraction. It can be something like 100, 200, 500, 150, 375, and so on. So when I say a variable equals to some number, and if this number happens to be integer, then this variable will also become an integer variable. So when you say a equals to 100, meaning of that is this variable called a is given some memory space wherein you can store the value equals to 100, and for this particular memory space or the placeholder we are giving a name called a. So you can check what type of variable it is by providing or assigning a number to a particular variable. You can check the type of that variable by saying type A, and then you can print this by using our output statement called print. Print, you can say type of A. So then we'll try to execute this by writing in a software called VS Code. So here I am going to make use of a software called VS Code, wherein we'll try to write our programs related to Python. So you can use the VS Code, you can use Anaconda. It's your choice. Whichever is easier for you, you can try making use of that. There is no compulsion that you should write only in VS Code and so on. So what I'll do here is I will equate the value of A equals to 100. I will say B equals to 200. Then I'll say print the value of A, and then I'll say print the value of B, and so on. So after you write this particular program, what all you need to do is you need to save the program. You can press Ctrl S. Initial name of that will be untitled. So you can save the program. You can give some name for the program, any name of your choice, and then the extension for that file has to be py. So I have given here the name as p3.py. Okay, which is py is to say this file belongs to Python. Like in C, we give an extension for the file as C. For C++, we give an extension as C++. For Java, we give an extension as Java. In C++, we give extension as CPP. In Java, we give an extension as Java, and so on. So in case of Python, we need to say whatever file name you like .py. So once you type this particular code and save it, what all you need to do is you can run the program. So you can run by saying here run code. When you click on run code, you will see that your output will be visible over here on the same screen. So see this, you got here the value for A as 100 and the value of B as 200, and so on. So in the similar way, now if you want to find the type of this particular variable, you can take one variable over there, and then if you want to find what is the type of this particular variable, what you can do is you can just say a equals to some value, and then you can just say print the type of that particular variable a. Okay, so then what do you do? Just execute this code once again. You can clear the previous output over here by click on this particular icon over here, and then you can say run the program. So when you say run the program, it will give you that a is of type integer. So class integer, which means a equals to 200. When you say, it is declared as class integer. Okay, so in the similar way, if you want to display the value as we have seen, you can just say print a, and then you can clear the previous output, run this. Then you are going to get here the output class integer, that is the type, and 200 is the value for that value of that particular variable. Now if you want to give some message before this 200, you can say here value of variable a equals to, you can write like this, in double quotes, whatever you write is treated as constant, separated by comma, you can give the variable name over there. Okay, so then you can check over here, clear the previous output, and then say run the code. You get the type of that particular variable as integer, class integer, and then you get a message value of the variable a equals to 200. So this is how you can always display the value of a given variable. So this is how you can initialize the value, this is how you can find the type of that, and this is how you can display the value of that particular variable. Now let's try to do something over here. You can assign multiple values to different variables. You can try to perform some calculations based on this and all. You can say c equals to a plus b. Okay, and then you can say print c. So you can print the value of this, which is the value of a plus the value of b, and so on. So you are going to get the output in that fashion. So it is 400, but instead you can always display it as total of two numbers. Some message you can give over there, separated by comma, then you can say the variable name. So total of two numbers, comma, c. So you get total of two numbers equals to 400. So in that way you can perform any arithmetic operation over here, and you can check the result of that. Okay, so this is how you can work with the integer data type, wherein you are going to assign a value to that particular variable, which is not going to have any fractional value, which is not going to have any fractions. Then you will call this particular variable as integer variable. Then you have a float data type. Float data type is wherein you are going to assign a value to a variable which can have some fraction. So you can say a equals to 10.55. So what happens when you do so? A again is the name of the variable, which is a placeholder for which some memory is given. And then in this memory, your data like 10.55 will be stored, and then for which you will give a name as a. So you can assign some value, they can check the value that is type of that variable, and then you can perform some arithmetic operation with the help of this particular value. So how we are going to do this? So you can just, the simple things that we know. So you can say a equals to some value, you can say b equals to some value, you can give any value of your choice. And then you can say print the value of a, print the value of b. Okay, then you clear the previous output over there. Your program is already saved. What you need to do is just say run the program, run the code. Then you are going to get the output as 100.44 is the value of a, 99.33 is the value of b. And then if you want, you can perform some calculation over here. C equals to a plus b, and you can display here the value of C. Clear the previous code over here and then run the code once again. So you get something like this: 100 plus 99, 199.769999. How to curtail the number of digits over here, we'll try to understand as we progress. So this is how you can. Here also you can give the message like total of given two numbers equals to, you can write like this, separated by comma, and then you can give the name of the variable over there. You can clear this, and then you can say run the code. You're going to get the value of A, you're going to get the value of B, and then you're going to get total of two numbers equals to the sum of these two numbers, and so on. Here you can check now what is the type of this particular variable. A and B are A, B, C, whatever. So what do you do for that? You just say print type of A. That's it. So when you say type of A, what do you get over here then? You get the type of A is class float. Because we have given here a number with fractions, you get the type of that as float. Okay. Then we'll go with the next one, what we call it as a complex data type. A complex number, or sorry, number is not required there. A complex in Python is a number which is made up of real and imaginary parts. It is represented as x plus yj. So wherein you can display the real and the imaginary parts of the number. So here we can write A equals to 10 plus 20j. And then if you check the type of A, so you will get the class for that as complex. So here also you can assign some value, check the type of that. You can perform some calculation over here, and then you can see the result of that. So what do? Just you say A equals to 10 plus 20j, B equals to 20 plus 30j, C equals to A plus B, and then you can say print C. Okay, so clear the previous output. So what should be the output over here? You are trying to add these two numbers over there. So what happens now? So you get this as 30 plus 50j and so on. Now in the similar way, if you want to find the type of this number, then you can say type of variable A or variable B, or both you can write over there and then execute the code. So you get that 30 plus 50j, and the type of this is complex. So you have integer, you got float, and then you have complex data type in a data type called numeric data type. So you can make use of integer data type, you can make use of floating point, you can make use of complex data type depending on what type of application you are going to create. Similarly, we have the next data type, what do you call it as a string data type. So when you talk about string, it is basically all about a group of characters, bunch of characters, you can call it as a string. So what do you need to do again? In the similar way, you can say A equals to some string, B equals to some string, and then you can perform some operations with the help of string. How we are going to perform that? We'll try to execute here the code. You can say A equals to Hyderabad, B equals to India, and then you can print the value of A, you can print the value of B, okay, and then execute the code, try to check the output there. A is Hyderabad, B is, so here you can give a message, a city name equals to, okay, right in this fashion. City name equals to Hyderabad, and then if you want country name equals to, you can say India, and so on. So you can display the values of these variables. You can even find the type of this particular variable by writing type of variable A. Clear the previous output over there and run this. So you get here A is of type class str. So because we have equated a string to A, the type of that will be equal to a class called str, and so on. Here you can perform some operations with the string wherein you can say C equals to A plus B, and then you can try printing the value of C over there. Then you can see. Now A plus B normally we use in order to perform addition of numbers. Now if I make use of A plus B over here, then you can see A plus B, when you work on strings, it is performing concatenation. So if you want, you can have a separator over here in this fashion. A equals to Hyderabad with a separator and B equals to India. So that your output will be Hyderabad, then you have a separator over there, and then India. So what plus over here is going to do, when you work with the plus operator using strings, it is going to concatenate the values of the variables. So you got A plus B as Hyderabad dash dash India and so on. So this is how you can work with string variable in case of Python and so on. So we'll try to understand more functions related to all these data types as we progress. Then we have the next data type. What do you call it as? A list data type. When you talk about list, here you can have this particular data type will help you to have n number of values, and all these values that are available to us in this particular list, they are all mutable, which means what? You can change these values which are present in the list at any point of time in the program. They are order sequence of elements. But here, when I say a list, you can have the values over here which can be of the same data type. Like here I have string, string and string. You can have string, integer, float and so on. So the value that you provide here can be of different data types and so on. So what then you can do here? You can create a list. List is wherein you will have multiple elements, and all these elements are mutable, nothing but they are changeable. So then you can print these values by using a print X. So what happens then? Let's try to do this. So what do you do here? First create a list. You can say X equals to, you can provide some name over there, apple, banana, then you can say pineapple and so on. And then what do you do here? You just say print the value of X. You can see then, run the code over there. So you will see that the output comes as apple, banana, pineapple and so on. So when you say print X, it is going to print the entire value that you have in the list. If you want, you can also print like this. You can say print X of 0. Okay, you can print X of 1. You can print X of 2. X of 1, X of 2 and so on. Clear the previous output and then try to run this. So you got the complete list, followed by you got the value of the first element, value of the second element, value of the third element and so on. So when you say print X, it is going to print all the elements in the list. When you say X of 0, it is going to print only the first element. As it is, the first element will have an index as 0, the second will have 1, the third will have the index as 2 and so on. So when I say X, I am going to get all the values. When I say X of 0, I'll get first value. X of 1, I'll get the second value. X of 2, I'll get the third value. So then later what you can do is you can say X of 1, which is banana, you can change it to now some other value called say mango. And then what do? You can say print now the new list. So what you have done? You have done some changes in the list, and then you are going to print the value once again for the entire list. So you get the output as apple, banana, pineapple, then you get separately these values. And then when I say X of 1 equals to mango, next time when you print the list, you get it should be apple, then you got mango over there, and then you have pineapple over there. So sorry, I have written applet, it should be apple over there. You clear this output and then try to get the new output over there. So you got apple, banana, pineapple, and then next time you got the list as apple, mango and pineapple, because you have changed here the value of X of 1. So that is where we talk about a list is a data structure in Python that is mutable or changeable. It is order sequence of elements, and the data that is present in the list can be of different data types. So here what I can do is I can also have a number over here instead of all the strings. So then what happens when you execute this? So you get apple 1000 and so on, like. So this is how the things will change and so on. So you can have in a list the values which can be of same data type, which can be of different data types and so on. As I said, it is mutable or changeable. You can have a change in the values after you create a list. Okay, then we'll move on to the next data type. The next data type that we have is tuple. The difference between list and tuples is the fact that lists are mutable, whereas tuples are immutable. So once you create a tuple, you are not supposed to change the values within this tuple. Whereas in case of list, you can have a change in the value. And the data that you write in a tuple can also be of different data types. So what is the difference you see there? In list, your values are mutable, whereas in case of tuple, your values are immutable and so on. So you can try to create a tuple in this fashion. The only difference you find is there we have used a square bracket. Now you are going to make use of parenthesis. So how is that you are going to do this? You can say x equals to apple, banana, mango and so on, and then you can say print x. Then you can see the result of this, clear the previous output, then go for this. So you get it as apple, banana, mango and so on. And then if you want, you can also print. Try doing this, then check what happens. So you got apple, banana, mango. When you say x of 0, you get apple and so on, like. But now if I try to do something like x of 0 equals to now pineapple. So if I try to change it over here in this fashion, and then if I try to print the tuple once again, then you see what happens over here. Clear the previous output and run the code over here. So see here, tuple does not support item assignment. So what it means? So when you come to tuple, they are all immutable, whereas in case of set, this was possible. So when you try to change something over here, you get an error over there, which was not the case in case of your data type called a set. The next one we have is a range data type. I'm just giving you an example how to assign the value and then how to make use of these particular data types. As we progress, we'll try to understand more about these data types, their functionality and so on, like. So when it comes to range is basically to provide a set of values which will start from some value, which will end at some value, and which will increment by some value. So when you talk about range, you are supposed to provide the starting value, you are supposed to provide the end value, and then you can also provide the step over there. So if you are not going to mention any step value, then by default it is going to pick up the step value as 1. So when I say print range 5, what it means for us? It means it is from range 0 to 5. So when you say print range 5, and then when you say range 0 to 5, it means it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It starts with 0, it will go up to 4. It will not print the value of 5 over there. So just see this. You can say print range of 5. So then clear the previous output, execute this. So what do you got? You got range 0-5. Okay. So which means what? When you say range 5, it will pick up the values from 0 to 4. Now if I say range 0-5, then what happens you see? So then it will print range 0, 5, and then here if you want, you can as well write the step over there. So when you write 1, it means it is the step which it is going to take. So you get here 0-5. you can print like this. So you can say print range 5 comma 10, which means what? It is between a range 5 to 10, so that it is going to pick up the values as 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on. So if you want to see the values that it is going to take, what you can do is you can say print list of that particular range. So what do you do here now? You just say here print list of this range. Okay, so by default it will take the step value as 1. You need not to write. Even if you write, it's not going to create any problem for us. So 0 dash 5 comma 1 indicate it should start with 0. It will go only up to 4. Every time it will increment by 1. So in the similar way, if I say 10 to 100 and increment value is 10. So then what happens? It is going to print from 10. It will go up to 190. Every time the value is going to get incremented by 10 and so on. So what is that you need to do? You need to provide the range. In the range, what you are going to do? You are going to provide the starting value, you are going to provide the end value, and then you are going to provide the step value. And then if you want to display all the values that it is going to take, then you can just say list of range of these values and so on. So then we'll try to go with dictionary data type that we have. So in case of dictionary, we can create a dictionary by just placing the items inside the braces, and they need to be separated by comma. An item that you place in a dictionary needs to have a key followed by the value. So it can be done like this. You can give some dictionary name here, any name of your choice equals to, within these braces, curly braces, what you can do is you can write the key colon, you need to write the value of that, again the key, again the value of that, and so on. And then if you want to pick up the value of a particular key, then you can just say your dictionary name followed by the key name over there. So if I say print my dictionary name, it will print the name of, that is the value of that particular key called name. So if you want to print all the values from the dictionary, you can just say print the name of the dictionary that you have created. A point to be noted over here is each item has a key and a value expressed as a key colon value. And this is how we need to make a pair of it. The values can belong to any data type. So you can have a value which can be string data type, integer data type. They can even repeat, but the keys must remain unique. So normally we make use of dictionary in order to make our job to access the data easier, to change and to delete the elements easier. So how we work with this? Let's try to understand this. So what you do here is you can say my dictionary, and then you can make use of the braces over there. You can say name equals to, that is name colon, you can give some name over there. I'm just writing the name as Hyderabad separated by comma. Then you can say age equals to age colon, you can give some age over there, and so on, like so. And then if you want to print all the values from the dictionary, you just say print the name of the dictionary. Clear your previous output and then try to execute this. You can see over there it has displayed all the values from the dictionary. Now if you want specific, then you can say print, what is that? You just want to print the age, then you can just say print my dictionary age. Clear of this previous. So you will get over there. Here the problem is age, I have to write it in quotations. The key, clear the previous. You will see that you got the complete values in the dictionary because you said print the name of the dictionary and then you wanted to print the age. So you got the age over there. In the similar way, if you have, if you want to print name, you can say print my dictionary name. So that is how you can work with the dictionary. The next one we have is a data type called a set. So set is an unordered collection of collection data type that is iterable. Iterable means you can traverse all the values that are available to us in the set. They are mutable and has no duplicate element. So it is unordered, it is mutable, it is iterable, it cannot have any duplicate value. So how is that you are going to create a set? A equals to, within curly brackets you write whatever values you want, separated by comma, and then you can print. So when you print, you can check what type of or what different values you get over there and so on. So what do you do there? A equals to, you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comma 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, comma 8 and so on. And then what do you do there? You can just say print A. Then you can see clear the previous output and then try to execute this. So what do you get? You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what is happening? In the list that you have created, you have given some duplicate values over there. 4 is repeating, 5 is repeating, 6 is repeating, 7, 8 is repeating and so on. But when you print the value, it will eliminate all the duplicate values and then it is going to print the values that are present in the list. So what we are going to say? It is unordered collection of collection data type. It is iterable, meaning of that is you can access all the elements, you can traverse from first element to the last element, you can change them as well. You can see that there are no duplicate values within the list and so on. So if you say print type of this particular variable called A, then it will say it is of class set and so on. So this is how you are going to work with set data type. More about this with functionalities related to this we'll try to discuss as we progress. The next one we have is frozen set. Frozen set is in Python, it is same as set except that its elements are immutable. So you cannot change any value once you create a set and add it to or make it as a frozen set. So the difference between set and frozen set is in set you can have the values which can be changed, whereas in case of frozen set you cannot change the values that are present in the set. Okay, so we'll try to work with this. Then you have a data type called a Boolean data type. So Boolean data type basically will tell you whether it is true or false, whether the condition is true, whether the condition is false and so on. So how you can do that? When you say print 10 greater than 9, it is true. 10 equals to 9, false. 10 less than 9 is false and so on. So this is how you can work with a data type called Boolean data type. So how is that you are going to do that? Print, you can just say 10 greater than 9. Okay, then clear the previous output, try to execute this. So it will say true, 10 equals to 9. So it will say false and so on. So this is going to give you either a true value or a false value. So the last data type that we have in Python is called binary data type. In binary data type, we have byte and we have byte array. And these are the data types that we are going to make use of in order to manipulate binary data in Python. So we'll try to discuss more about this data type as we are in need of it. So these are the various data types that we have discussed which are available to us in Python. Do practice as we have discussed in this particular video all the data types with example. Thank you.